So guys, how are you doing today? Yes, I've been away for a while just making video shorts and enjoying the hell out of those. I cannot believe my Lenny Henry, I can do a better Irish accent than you can, has gotten way more views than my Cobra Kai short. What's going on here, people? Come on. But we are talking about, you guessed it, LOTR, The Rings of Power here on Amazon Prime. I'm not watching today's episode because I've got Cobra Kai to binge watch, season 5 of course, which I just mentioned. I've got House of the Dragon episodes 1 to 3 to watch. Are we on the 4th episode already? I don't know. I keep thinking it's 1 to 3 at the moment, but holy hell, man. I'm going to talk about House of the Dragon in a minute. But before I do that... Rewind. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when the first 2 episodes for the Rings of Power, I am Durin, I am from Scotland. Yeah, that's a pretty good Scottish accent, actually. It scored 25 million global viewers in its first 24 hours. Thank you for making The Rings of Power the most watched series premiere on Prime Video. I don't know if that's entirely true because Samba TV, which measures TV data in America, they refuted those claims from Amazon, which I thought was pretty interesting. And again, I tweeted here, show us the receipt, Amazon. House of the Dragon, HBO, is scoring high viewership than your CW show. Putting a laughing emoji at the end, which is true. It is scoring better. And you're probably wondering why I mentioned House of the Dragon in context of The Rings of Power. Well, I gotta say this much. I've always said Warner Brothers, and I used to work for Warner Brothers back in the 90s, funny enough. Another story for another time. But they can be notoriously dumb without a question of a doubt. But this is the one time I actually think they just came out with such a boss move and thought, so Jeff Bezos wants his Game of Thrones, does he? Guess what? We're going to make a prequel and we're going to get it out in time, which they did, and it's $30 million cheaper per episode. But while here, it is just amazing. And despite the fact they've kind of made a couple of diverse changes here and there, I don't mind so much as long as it's done for the right reasons and not for the sake of the message. I will be absolutely fine with that. So, if we're going up here, oh boy, right. This was posted, I think it was yesterday. Actually, it was 2 days ago. Yeah, you gotta see this to believe it. So, The Lord of the Rings on Prime, we stand in solidarity with our cast. Hashtag you are all welcome here. Very, very strange terminology from Amazon, right? You're all welcome here. Okay, right. So, Amazon, are you implying that you might harbor prejudices somehow? We, the cast of The Rings of Power, stand together in absolute solidarity and against the relentless racism, threats, harassment, and abuse some of our castmates, which is a bit of a strange, dodgy term anyway, of colour, spelt with a U by the way, Amazon, are being subjected to on a daily basis. We refuse to ignore it or tolerate it, but here you are talking about it on one of the biggest platforms in the world. J.R.R. Tolkien, that's Professor Tolkien, created a world which, by definition, is multicultural. Oh, well, a world in which free peoples, from different races and cultures join together. You're talking about elves, dwarves. Yeah, I mean, they are races, they're different species, but they're not different colors, they're different species of people. Do you not understand that, Amazon? They join together in fellowship. Oh, you see, there you go. Yeah, you're actually just going in there and trying to desecrate my favorite film of that series to defeat the forces of evil. Rings of Power reflects that. Our world has never been all white. Everything's going to be all white now. Remember that diatribe of a documentary? Fantasy has never been all white. Middle-earth is not all white. By persons of color belong in Middle-earth, and they are here to stay. Oh shit, man. Wow. Finally, all our love and friendship go out to fans supporting us, especially fans of color. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. It's I'm hitting puberty again, folks. The second time round is great. Wow, why shouldn't fans of colour be appreciative of this show if they like it? Why are you appealing to fans of colour? That is a very strange thing. Who themselves are being attacked simply for existing in this fandom? No, they're not. We see you. We see your bravery, your endless creativity. They're talking about the YouTubers, obviously. Your cosplays, your fan cams, your fan art, your OnlyFans. I'm kidding about that last part. And insights make this community a richer place and remind us of our purpose. You are valid, you are loved, and you belong. You are integral part to the LOTR family. Well, not this fucking family. Thanks for having our backs, Namare. Now, I actually tweeted out about this, which would when I just said here, I stand in solidarity with Professor Tolkien and my Lord of the Rings. Oh, remember Tom Shippey? Your show is more Dungeons and Dragons than what it claims to be. Now, the things I'm going to address in this diatribe of a speech, which, by the way, it's not the Rings of Power cast who have done this. It is Amazon, a ghostwriter on their behalf, doing this because, again, we saw this with Obi-Wan and the whole backlash against Moses Ingram as Reaver. Nobody was. Look, the reason why I didn't like that show anyway, because it was a story that you didn't need to retell, but they retold it for the purpose of inserting the message via Moses Ingram. It's a horrible character. Now, if you take something like Jedi's The Fallen Order from EA Games, where you had Cal Kestis, played by a red-headed dude, and he's got a multicultural cast of people with him. The third sister in that game is fantastic. Even the companion that he has earlier on, she's great too. You know, there's no messaging shoved in there because it's Star Wars. It's already a multicultural galaxy and it wasn't shoved down your face. People think, people do forget about Billy D. Williams in The Empire Strikes Back. No one made a fuss about that when it came out. So I don't know why there's this kind of resurgence about we've got to put the message in because we're not hammering it enough to you. But look, I'm Sophia Navaletti. I saw her performance in the second episode. And honestly, if it wasn't Lord of the Rings, I could just take this as Dungeons and Dragons or another medieval type fantasy. If it was any of those and it wasn't tied to Professor Tolkien's work, I would probably accept the show a bit more. I probably would. Sophia Navaletti, okay, I don't hate the chick. I think she's absolutely hilarious. What I didn't like was just her incessant, well, I'm the first dwarf of colour ever to be seen. I didn't like any of that. It was a disservice to her, it's a disservice to Tolkien, and it's a disservice to true Lord of the Rings fans out there. It really is. Now look, when I came to her Instagram page about, 3 weeks ago, she was on just over 4,000 followers. She's gained a mass following so far. I said she would, and I am following her. Do you know why? Because she is hysterical. She's unironically hilarious for all the right and wrong reasons. And Sophia, just keep the comedy gold loving. I love it. I love it. I mean, look at it. If you you know what I say about waiting for buses in London, right? You know, you wait for one, then all of a sudden 3 show up, and of course we've got 3 decent buses right here. Woo woo. Woo woo woo. No 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 no. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo.
I got tears in my eyes already.
Get to be tears in your eyes.
So, it's just hilarious. I mean, look at that. She's enjoying the time. She'll probably get a lot more work out of it. But she does remind me of women like her have met in real life. They're all nice on the outside, they become insufferable in the inside, and it's just a lot more worse. And then, yeah, I saw her performance in the second episode. She does a pretty good Scottish accent, along with Owain Arthur as Prince Durin. I don't know if they're Scottish because I looked up the lore about him, and J.R.R. Tolkien doesn't mention the genealogy of like where they're from. They're just from the realm of dwarves. And that's it. So I don't know why people are speaking with Irish and Scottish accents and Cornish accents in this show. It's very, very confusing and a little bit weird, like why they would do that. But yeah, I'm following Sophia Navaletti. Have I sent her messages of hate? No, of course not. Why on earth would I do that? I don't ever recall even any of the cast members of Rings of Power receiving hate mail or threats. Nobody's doing that. That people are just disliking the show because A, it's not Lord of the Rings, B, you've cast certain people to get across the message when you don't need to do that. You could have just tried to attempt JD Payne and Patrick McKay to make the best thing you can with the limited sources you have at your disposal. But I guess that's asking for too much, right? And I just find this whole messaging from Amazon just to be completely off the rail, man. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, this part here, it's never been all white. Now look, when I saw the original films, the original trilogy from 2001 to 2003, I never sat in the audience thinking to myself, why is this an all white cast? Why can I not see myself being represented? You know why? Because I did not give three shits. It did not occur to me. Now let's face facts, people. All of my life, a lot of the entertainment I've enjoyed, whether it be via TV, films or comic books, has been 90% white. Nothing wrong with that. And look, when you get great characters like Tom Magnum, played by Tom Selleck, who's propped up by some very good and diverse characters. I would say the same thing for Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer as well in 24. You know, you'll get certain white characters who are propped up by equally strong, diverse characters, whether they be male or female. So this crap here, Middle Earth is not all white, BIPOC belong in Middle Earth, and they're here to say, what they're doing is they're looking at Tumblr fan fiction and thinking, okay, because we've got gay Frodo and gay Sam, you know, we're going to put that into our show and we're going to make it all about this is what really happened, discounting the fact that back in the times of J.R.R. Tolkien, these things were around. You know, that type of sexuality was around, but probably not in its most prevalent form that it is today. It's all suppressed. Remember, we're talking about those times. That would not have even tickled the curiosity of Professor Tolkien, because he was brought up as a strict Roman Catholic and he wanted to create this particular world. Unfortunately, folks, it's 2022 and we have to deal with the messaging in things that we love, and long may not continue. So if you enjoyed this video today, folks, make sure you hit the like button below, make sure you share the hell out of this video, and if I were you, and if you were me, I will see you on the next video. That was a lot of yous there.